Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? I hope that you are always fine everywhere and every time. Okay, guys, today we are going to continue our discussion today about ex post facto research. Before going to the main discussion, I want to tell you a little bit about what is ex post facto research. The definition of ex post facto research is a research that carried out after an incident. It happens. Ex post facto research aims to find out causes, and then this research is done after the fact or the problems. In this occasion, I have an example of thesis by the title "The Effect of Students' Anxiety on Their English Achievement," an ex post facto study in SMP Negeri 1 Siman Ponorogo. Here, guys, I have some parts to discuss. The first is about background of study. The second is research questions. The third is hypothesis. The fourth is research design. The fifth is instrument. The sixth is data collection, and the last is data analysis. Let's check it out. Background of the study. According to Spielberger, as cited in Sarah and Alireza, anxiety can be described as the subjective feelings of tension, apprehension, nervousness, and worry associated with an arousal of the autonomic nervous system. Anxiety refers to a feeling of dread, impending doom, or disaster. Anxiety is concerned with our needs for affiliation and achievement. It is an inhibition state of the individual which obstructs him in achieving the objectives. Anxiety was mainly related to fear of negative evaluation while speaking in front of the other. Anxiety is an important subject in educational psychology because it is known in interfere with children's ability to learn, the level of their classroom performance, and their relationship with classmates. Anxiety can be understood as multi-system response to an object or event that arouses apprehension. It involves biochemical and neuromuscular change in the body, memories of the past events, the anticipation of future outcomes, and appraisal of the present situation. Arnold and Brown in Dorney states that anxiety is quite possibly the affective factor that perceivably obstructs the learning process. McLenter and Gardner suggest that students do not start language learning with anxiety, but anxiety is a learned emotional reaction, and it appears after students' attitudes towards language learning develop. The next chapter is research questions. The researcher here intended to focus on how to find out the answer to the following questions. Is there any significant effect of students' anxiety on their English achievement at 8th grade student of SMP Negeri 1 Siman in academic year 2019-2020? The next is hypothesis. A hypothesis is a mere assumption or some supposition to be proved or disproved. And for the researcher, a hypothesis is a formal question that B intends to resolve. Based on the statement of the problem and theoretical framework of this research, the hypothesis is as follows. The first is null hypothesis. There is no significant effect of student anxiety on their English achievement. 8th grade students of SMP Negeri 1 Siman in the academic year 2019-2020. And the second is alternative hypothesis. There is a significant effect of students' anxiety on their English achievement at 8th grade students of SMP 1 Siman in the academic year 2019-2020. The next is research design. In this study, the researcher used a quantitative research method. According to Creswell, quantitative is a means for testing objective theories by examining the relationship among variables. It began with a question or a hypothesis to be investigated through data quantification and numerical analysis. In particular, the study employed ex post facto research. According to Latif, ex post facto research measures the cause and effect relationship without manipulating the independent variables. In the ex post facto study, the researcher did not start the process from the beginning, but immediately saw the results. From the research obtained, the researcher tried to find the cause of the event. The writer used a research instrument to measure students' foreign language anxiety in English learning. This research promotes a hypothesis. There is a significant effect of students' anxiety on their English achievement at 8th grade students of SMP Negeri 1 Siman in the academic year 2019-2020. The hypothesis offers two variables, X variable and Y variable. X variable refers to the student's anxiety and the Y variable refers to the student English achievement. Both students' anxiety and their English achievement at 8th grade student of SMP Negeri 1 Siman in the academic year 2019-2020 are measured through questionnaires. Then the result of the questionnaire are used to know whether there is a significant effect of students' anxiety on English achievement at 8th grade students of SMP Negeri 1 Siman in academic year 2019-2020. The next part is instrument. The instrument of this research is a questionnaire that will be used to measure the student anxiety in their English classroom. To measure instrument, the researcher validity and reliability test. The questionnaire items before the validity and reliability test. That's the instrument. Here we go. This is the instrument of data collection of this research. The next, test of validity. A test is valid if the test exactly can measure what will be measured. Validity refers to the degree in which the evidence supports the inferences that are made from the scores. The inferences regarding specific uses of the test are validated, not the test itself. Validity must consider to the test content and method, how test takers perform. The formula is presented next to you. For getting validity, the total Rxy is compared with the total R table. If Rxy more than 0.361, so that the question item is valid. And if Rxy less than 0.361, the question item is invalid. In this research, there were 33 questions with the indexes of correlation more than 0.361. The questions were valid and used as the instrument of the sample. The questionnaire items after the validity and reliability test can be seen clearly. The next is test of reliability. For X variable or student's anxiety, the researcher gave the tryout to 30 students. After getting the result, the researcher used Cronbach alpha formula to find out the reliability of the test. To obtain the reliability of the questionnaire, the researcher used SPSS 21 program to find out whether or not the questionnaire is reliable. Reliability is consistency of data, scores, or observation obtained using measurement instrument, which can include a range of tools from standardized tests to tasks completed by participants in a research study. To determine the reliability of FLCAS, the researcher uses Cronbach alpha. The formulation is as follows. The last part of this research is data analysis. Data analysis is an effort of analyzing data collected in the framework of understanding research findings to fit the problems. Here, we have three components of data analysis. The first is normality test. The purpose of doing the normality test to the data is to know whether the population of the data is normal or not. If the data is normal, it can be used statistic test parametric. Meanwhile, if the data is not normal, it is used statistic test non-parametric. In this research, the technique used to examine the normality test is Kolmogorov-Smirnov formula, but the researcher uses SPSS 21 for the windows. The second is linearity test. The linearity test is the test to measure the linearity of the regression line. The linearity test is done by look for a regression line model from an independent variable x and dependent variable y. The third is simple linear regression, analysis technique that uses to know the influence of anxiety on students' English achievement is an analysis technique regression formula. This technique is used to get a functional relationship between two variables. Influence variables called predictor there is x and influence variable called criterion is y. And that's all from me, guys. Thank you so much for paying attention on this video. I do hope it's useful for us, especially for me and for all of you. Yeah. And I do apologize if I have a lot of mistakes. That's all from me. No ending without meeting, no closing without opening. Forgive me for everything because I'm just human being. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye. See you guys.